in the forgotten corners of the galaxy, where shadows whisper secrets of the ancient Sith, a story awaits, shrouded in darkness. A tale of power, destiny, and the eternal struggle between light and shadow. This is Dark Side Storyteller.
Long before the galaxy bore the chains of law and order, before Jedi and Sith carved their names into history with blood and fear, there were the unseen currents of the Force, wild, untamed, eternal. In the void between stars, whispers slithered across the cosmos, echoing through the bones of dead worlds and the cries of newborn suns. Among these whispers, one voice grew, quiet, patient, insistent, a destiny unclaimed, waiting in shadow. Some would seek power, some would wield it, and some would become the storm itself. The story begins now. Threads of vengeance, mastery and revelation converge, and from the abyss rises a force the galaxy has yet to imagine. Liliana does not seek chaos for its own sake. She retreats to the jagged, untamed peaks of Mortis Vox to understand everything she has become. She trains to master the light, the dark, and the ancient balance of the Noctob Syrians. Not out of curiosity, but out of necessity. She prepares for one purpose: to confront Darth Voracius and end the monster who shaped her torment. To defeat him, she must become something the galaxy has never seen, something beyond Sith, beyond Jedi, beyond mortal. Every lesson, every scar, every echo in her blood has led her here. Weeks bled into months. Liliana endured ancient trials, shattering illusions, bending energy storms, and surviving the planet's violent shifts of power. But nothing prepared her. For the moment the planet woke to her presence, she stands abruptly. Her breath catches, her tattoos flicker.
I hear something, but it isn't you.
The dark Jedi spirit materializes, flickering like starlight about to die.
Tell me, what do you hear?
It calls me. I feel it in my bones. It's alive, ancient, sorrowful. It feels heavy, like the sky is collapsing into my skull.
He kneels, reverent.
Mortis Vox speaks to you. You have the ability to hear and speak to planets. Only a handful in the galaxy ever heard a world's voice. Fewer survived it. This is your gift and your curse.
A curse? It feels like power, but it's wild. Why does it feel like I'm drowning?
Because a planet does not think like a mortal. It is a storm of billions of lives, deaths, and echoes spanning eons. Your mind is but a cup, Liliana, and the planet is an ocean. If you open yourself to it without preparation, the ocean will fill the cup until it shatters.
The planet's sorrow pulses through her, raw, heavy, familiar. A massive psychic gravity threatening to wipe away her identity.
This is why you must master all three forces: the dark to fuel, the light to contain, the balance to guide. Without all three, this world's power will swallow you whole.
Then what should I do?
You must build a vessel strong enough to hold the storm. The dark side provides the fuel, the strength to stand against the crushing weight. The light side, the light provides the structure, the walls of the vessel, the discipline to keep the energy from leaking out and consuming you. And the balance, that is the hand that pours. Without all three, this world's power will swallow you whole, and you will become nothing more than another spirit haunting these canyons.
Liliana looks up, the pain in her eyes hardening into resolve. She understands now. She is not just learning to fight, she is learning to become a container for the infinite. With the voice of the planet whispering in her mind, Liliana sought a place where the planet's heartbeat was strongest. She descended from the heights into the fungal forest below, seeking not just power, but understanding. In the quiet aftermath of her revelation, the distance between them vanishes. For the first time, Liliana is not standing at attention before a master. She is sitting beside a companion in the dark. The silence isn't heavy, it is shared.
You were a Jedi once, a guardian of peace, and then you were the friend of a monster. Now, you are a ghost trapped in a rock.
A summary devoid of dignity, but accurate.
Why help me? You've wandered 2 centuries alone. You could have faded into the Force. You could have let Varakius rot. Why stay?
Because I watched them all, Liliana. For 200 years I watched Varakius bring apprentices here. I watched them break. I watched them scream. I watched them die to fuel his vanity. I stayed because I have waited 200 years for someone like you. You do not break, you rise.
Liliana looks away, uncomfortable with the praise, but she does not reject it. A long silence passes, filled only by the hum of the fungi.
It is time you know my name. It is Lycain.
What, you're tired of me calling you Ghost?
I'm telling you out of trust. I feel we are connected and share similar ties. We were both betrayed by the ones who were supposed to guide us. We are both orphans of the Force.
The name lands heavy, an offering of trust. Liliana's smirk fades, replaced by a look of genuine respect.
Lycain. All right, I'll always remember it.
A shift forms between them. Not affection, but friendship. A bond of purpose and inevitability. Trust established, the true work began. Days stretched into weeks. Lycain brought her to the heart of the planet, deeper into the planet's veins, to a cavern where the raw force converged to teach her the impossible synthesis. Here, the force was not a singular thing. It was a war. He forced her to stand in the center of the collision, demanding she hold the conflicting energies inside her own mind without snapping. She masters the interplay. Fury under discipline, discipline under guidance, guidance under unbroken will. Her tattoos, earned only once before, when she survived Zirak Prime's beast, begin to pulse again. Lines shifting, glowing, hungry.
The dark is fire, hunger, fury, passion. The light is structure, order, restraint, binding, and balance, the eye of the storm, the fulcrum. You are fighting the currents, Liliana. You try to dominate the light with the dark, and the dark with the light. This is why you are exhausted. You must understand the nature of the tools before you can build the house.
They hate each other.
They are opposites, not enemies. Listen to me. The dark side is fire. It is hunger, fury, passion. It provides the energy to move mountains, but fire without a hearth burns down the house. It consumes the user until there is nothing left but ash. The light side is structure. It is order, restraint, binding. It is the cold stone of the hearth that holds the fire. Without the fire, the stone is cold and lifeless. But without the stone, the fire destroys everything.
And the balance?
Balance is the eye of the storm. It is the fulcrum. It is the will that decides how high the fire burns and how strong the walls stand. You must not be the fire or the stone. You must be the architect who commands both.
Liliana closes her eyes, visualizing the Trinity. She stops fighting the collision and instead wraps the structure of the light around the fury of the dark. The air in the cavern goes still. The crackling arcs silence. She has achieved synthesis.
Look at your skin, Liliana. Do you see?
They burn. It feels like they're drinking the air.
Most force users act as a lens. Light passes through them. But you are different. Your body doesn't channel the force. It absorbs it. You are a living conduit, a vacuum. Hence your markings. Each line is not just art. It is a storage vessel for power you have devoured and tamed.
I feel like I'm about to burst. There is way too much.
That is the danger of your gift. Your flesh is mortal, but your hunger is infinite. If you continue to draw upon the planet and the synthesis of the force without an outlet, your body will burn out. You will become a supernova, brilliant for a second and then dead forever.
Then how do I survive this?
You need a focus, an external heart. You cannot hold the storm inside your veins forever. We must build something that can hold it for you.
Understanding the lethal limit of her own biology, Liliana followed Lycain deeper to the only place where such a vessel could be forged. Mastery was achieved, but survival required an anchor. The vessel remained to be forged. Lycain led her to the planet's bleeding heart, a cavern rich with kyber, to create the anchor that would save her life. They descended deeper into the bleeding heart of Mortis Vox. Here, the air was thick with the metallic taste of ozone and ancient dust. Lycain stopped before the altar, his spectral form illuminating two small objects he had instructed her to find days ago. Lycain places two crystals before her, one light, one dark.
Replace them, the light and the dark.
I understand the red. It is passion. It is the bleed. But this, the blue, a Jedi trinket, it feels cold and limp.
It feels stable. You mock the Jedi, Liliana, but you must not deny their endurance. A dark side crystal screams. It releases energy explosively. A light side crystal endures. It holds energy indefinitely. If you want a weapon that can channel the planetary siphon without shattering in your hand, you need the scream and the silence. You need the bomb and the casing.
Fine. A cage for the storm. What else?
The binding agent. The Noctobsirians used alchemy, but you are an absorber. The only thing strong enough to bind these opposing forces is the very thing that fuels them.
Let me guess. Blood. It's always blood with these ancient rituals. For a former guardian of peace, you certainly have a morbid streak, Lycain.
I am a spirit trapped in shadow, teaching a Sith how to become a god. I think we passed morbid a century ago. Besides, I do not ask for blood because I enjoy it. I ask because I prefer you not to explode.
Touching concern.
Listen to me. Your flesh cannot contain your destiny without an anchor. Your tattoos, your gift, your conduit nature. Without this blade, the energy you draw from the planet will tear you apart. You will burn out like a dying star. But with this, your will becomes unbreakable. You become the lens.
He gestures to the components. The light Kyber, the dark Kyber, the Noctobsirian mysticism, her blood and her magic. The banter dies. The weight of the moment settles. Liliana steps to the altar.
Then let it be done.
She holds her hand over the crystals and cuts her palm. Her blood, thick, dark, and charged with the raw force she has absorbed, drips onto the stone. It does not splash. It hisses, sizzling as if touching hot iron. Liliana begins to chant the Noctobsirian sigils Lycain taught her, her voice overlapping with the hum of the cave. Mist swirls violently. The world trembles. On the altar, the light and dark crystals begin to scream, a high-pitched whine of opposing realities forced to touch.
Hold it. Don't let them repel. Bind them with your ambition.
Liliana pushes her will into the blood. The red and blue lights distort, twisting around each other, fighting for dominance, until the blood pulls them together. A blinding flash of violet light erupts, silencing the scream. When the light fades, the blade is born. It is no standard hilt. 4 curved predatory talons guard the emitter, silver and crimson arcs shaping a beast's maw. At its center lies a transparent canister, trapping a swirling fiery essence that roils like captured starfire. The pommel ends in a sharp, blood-red crystal spike. She lifts it. She feels the connection instantly. It is not just a weapon. It is a valve for the infinite pressure inside her. Her tattoos flare white-hot, finally finding a release.
It's not just a tool. It's a part of me. It is the silence at the end of the world. I shall call it Sir Kal.
Your tattoos, your gift, your conduit nature. Without this blade, the energy you draw will tear you apart. But with it, your will becomes unbreakable, and you now become unstoppable. You are ready to confront and face Varakius. Go!
The weapon was forged. The acolyte Liliana was gone. Now only the executioner is what remained. With Zirkal in hand and the planet's voice in her mind, she marched toward the fortress that loomed above the city. She climbs the shattered steps. The air recoils from her. Her tattoos burn like molten fire. Zirkal hums with cosmic hunger. Inside the throne room, Vorakius turns, his senses alerting him to an intruder. But what he sees stops him cold.
I know everything. Every single lie, every single betrayal, and every secret that you buried in shadow. I've walked the ossuary. I have spoken to the spirit you trapped in stone. Every betrayal, every lie, every secret is mine.
Impossible. No mortal mind could withstand the weight of that history and what you claim.
I'm not merely mortal. I am what your fear created. I know you are the last Noctobsirian. I know about the Force Nexus quake that took your beloved. I know you ran from the balance because it failed to save her.
The balance is stagnation. It is weakness. I did what was necessary to survive the chaos.
Survival? You murdered your only friend Lycain. You sacrificed him not for power but for comfort, to build a wall between you and the pain of your loss. That isn't mastery, Vorakius. That is cowardice.
The word strikes Vorakius like physical force. His composure shatters. The mask of the Sith Lord falls away, revealing a desperate, broken man, terrified of his own grief. He ignites his blade with a roar.
You mistake passion for power. You are just another slave to your petty rage, just like the fool I sacrificed. You are unworthy of this final lesson.
The clash erupts with a shockwave that shatters pillars. Vorakius whirls like a hurricane of dark-side mastery. Liliana counters, precise, vicious, balanced. Sparks explode. Energy arcs slice the air.
You think mastering chaos makes you powerful? You are still incomplete.
No, you made me incomplete, but I corrected that.
He hurls lightning. She absorbs it, tattoos blazing, and sends it back tenfold. Vorakius staggers. Not defeated, furious, he charges again. Their sabers lock.
Everything you are came from me.
And everything you are ends with me.
They collide again, harder. He wounds her shoulder. She slices his armor. The fortress cracks with each blow.
You tortured me, manipulated me, lied to me.
I forged a weapon. Your strength is my legacy.
No, my strength is everything you feared I'd become.
Their final clash is catastrophic. Liliana channels the raw energy of the planet through Zirkal, smashing through his defenses. Vorakius's lightsaber flies from his hand. He drops to his knees, defeated not just by skill, but by the terrifying synthesis of all she has learned.
So, this is how my darkness ends. Not by a rival, but by the one I created.
He looks up at her. Hatred and awe mingled in his dying eyes. He recognizes the monster he unleashed.
You are the storm, the devourer, the shadow the galaxy deserves.
His essence tears free, screaming, and Liliana's tattoos flare, pulling it in. Lycain appears to celebrate Liliana's victory. But in that moment, something goes wrong. Lycain steps forward in spirit, too close, too bound to her. too tied to her conduit nature, and he is pulled in as well. Liliana gasps, overwhelmed by two souls, two histories, two legacies slamming into her. Her tattoos ignite pure fire. Her skin shifts into a translucent violet. Her hair bleaches white, then burns crimson. Her eyes ignite yellow-red.
Lycaon, no, I didn't mean to. You were in the wrong place, the wrong time. You will now be forever part of me.
The power stirs, then settles, completes her, elevates her. She raises Jirkal, now a cosmic extension of her will. Tattoos glowing, then cooling. Her eyes glowing in piercing green, and her voice transforming into something much darker, sinister.
The light bends to the dark. The balance obeys. Jirkal and I are one. I am reborn.
She steps onto the throne.
I am no longer Liliana. I am now Nishara.
And thus begins the uprising of Darth Nishara, the living nexus. Now falls the curtain on the Age of Whispers. The shadow is no longer a hiding place, it is a throne. We do not end here in silence, but in the breath before the scream. The legacy has been set and it rests for now. The galaxy sleeps one final night in ignorance before the dawn of the inevitable. This is the shadowed legacy of a Sith. If you've enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching.